Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving headfirst into one of the most powerful technologies out there, artificial intelligence. We're going to break down what it is, see how it's already changing everything around us, and tackle some of the huge questions about where we're headed.
For decades, this question was pure science fiction, something you'd debate in a philosophy class, a problem for some far-off, distant future. But here's the wild part. It's not a theoretical question anymore.
Seriously, all around us, every single day, machines are showing signs of intelligence in ways that are just part of our lives now. That future we were all wondering about kind of snuck up on us, and now it's here. Okay, so to really get a handle on this, we've got to start with the basics. What are we really talking about when we say artificial intelligence, or AI?
The key thing to remember is to focus on what AI does. Let's forget the clunky robots from old movies for a sec. Modern AI is all about action. It senses what's around it, it learns from information, it cracks problems, and it adapts, all to reach a specific goal.
At the very heart of this whole thing is the algorithm. And you can just think of an algorithm as a recipe. That's it. It's a super detailed list of instructions that tells the machine exactly what to do to solve a problem. It's the engine that makes the whole thing go.
So, that's the theory. But where is this tech actually popping up in the real world? Well, the short answer is just about everywhere. Let's do a quick tour. Just think about the last time you bought something online. The moment you landed on that website and it showed you things you might like, that was AI. The little chatbot that answered your question? AI again, but it goes way deeper. That same brain is running the entire supply chain and setting prices in the background. It's a totally connected retail world.
And in healthcare, wow. The impact is just profound. AI can look at millions of patient records and spot patterns that no human ever could. It can flag people who are at risk for a disease before they even feel sick. It's even helping create personalized medicine based on your specific DNA. We're moving from just treating sickness to actually preventing it.
And the list just goes on and on. The same basic technology that's guiding a self-driving car is also out in a field monitoring crops. It's protecting your bank account by spotting hackers, and it's even helping companies find the perfect person for a job. It's this quiet, invisible revolution that's happening everywhere at once. So we've seen what AI can do, but how in the world does it get so smart? How does a machine go from being basically a fancy calculator to making these incredible predictions? The magic ingredient is a field called machine learning.
And this right here is the game changer. With old-school programming, a human had to write out every single step, every single rule. With machine learning, you don't do that. You just give the machine a mountain of data and let it figure out the rules for itself. It learns from experience, kind of like we do.
Now, this learning happens in a few main ways. With supervised learning, think of it like a student with a teacher. It gets a bunch of examples that are already labeled. Unsupervised learning is more like a detective. It gets a pile of data and has to find the hidden patterns on its own. And then there's reinforcement learning, which is so cool. The AI basically learns by playing a game. It tries things, fails, and keeps trying to get a better and better score. So what happens when you take all that powerful intelligence and you give it a body? Well, that's when you step into the incredible world of robotics. But this isn't a story of humans versus machines. Not at all. It's a story about teamwork. We are amazing at things like creativity and coming up with new ideas. Robots, on the other hand, are masters of accuracy and doing the same thing perfectly thousands of times in a row without ever getting tired. So where are they most useful? In jobs that are just plain too dangerous for a person, like bomb disposal. In places we literally can't survive, like the bottom of the ocean. For those mind-numbingly repetitive jobs on an assembly line. And for things that need superhuman precision, like welding tiny parts, or even assisting in surgery, making it safer and recovery faster.
Okay, this is where the conversation gets a little more intense. Because with all this incredible power comes some enormous responsibility. And the rise of AI is forcing us to face some of the biggest, toughest ethical questions of our time.
100% yes. Because AI is built by people, and it's trained on data from our world, it can pick up our own hidden biases. Think about it. If you train a hiring AI on data from a company that has a history of bias, the AI might just learn to copy that bias without anyone ever meaning for it to.
This is a huge legal and ethical mess right now. If a self-driving car gets into an accident, who's to blame? The owner, the company that made the car, the programmer who wrote that specific piece of code? Right now, there aren't any easy answers.
And of course, there's the big one everyone worries about: jobs. As AI and robots get better and better, what happens to the people who used to do those tasks? And maybe even more importantly, all the money and value this technology creates. Where does it go? Does it get shared, or does it end up in the hands of just a few?
And the questions even start to get kind of philosophical. We talked about rewarding an AI to teach it, but what about giving it a negative reward? As these systems get more advanced, could that be seen as causing it to suffer? It's a weird thought, but it makes us ask if we need to think about treating our own creations humanely.
Look, these questions are big and they're scary, but they are not impossible to solve. The key is that we have to be proactive about it. So how do we actually build a future where we're using AI responsibly?
Thankfully, we have a roadmap. Groups like the World Economic Forum have put out clear guides. The main ideas are pretty straightforward. You have to build ethics in from the very beginning, not as an afterthought. You have to be totally transparent with people, and you have to always be on the lookout for that unintended bias.
So we've got the tools, we've got the frameworks, we know what the challenges are. After looking at all of this, it really all comes down to one final, huge question.
Artificial intelligence isn't some outside force that's just happening to us. It's a mirror. It is going to learn the values that we teach it. It's going to reflect the biases that we feed it, and it's going to aim for the goals that we give it. The technology itself is neutral. The future it creates, that's a choice, and it's a choice that all of us are making right now.